say except that I fell in love with Grandma. And, I don't know, everybody or many of us know that she was lovely, and she was delightful, and, we know things about her. She loved her dogs, and she loved her friends and her family, and playing Scrabble, and she loved you, Mom, and she loved us very much, and she was generous and kind. And I was very grateful to have met her and have her in our life, and meet her, and spend time with her when she was youthful in her 80s. Thank goodness, she's swimming in the ocean till she was like 87 or something, even when it was cold. And she was always very sad when her health started to fail her, because she wanted to be as young as her heart really was. And it was lovely that she was very aware of everybody and everything going around her, even in her older years. And she always loved to say, give my love to the grandchildren, great-grandchildren, when we visited, if my guys weren't there. Anyways, she was just lovely. She is and was lovely, and I really appreciated being with her in her very last weeks and days. And I guess I just wanted to say that I fell in love with her, and I think she's just lovely. And look at her smile. She's just beautiful. So I appreciate everyone being here, and I just love Grandma. Thank you.
You want to come up?
I'll come with Helen.
Yes, please.
Do you want to start? Do you want me to?
Yeah.
Okay. I met Helen at New Life Baptist Church, and I met Ellie. She went to the same church because I lived in Crofton, and so did she. And Ellie seemed like she needed a ride here and there and a friend, so I stepped up to the plate, and there I was. And over the years, Helen moved from Duncan into La Rosa here in Ladysmith, and Ellie moved right next door into the apartment right beside her. And they had a lot of good times together. Ellie was such a precise person. When she was in her house, you knew not to come before 10 in the morning to visit or to take her to an appointment, and not earlier than 3 in the afternoon. And it was 3 for tea. And when she went out, she must wear her burgundy-colored hat and do her coat right up. And when she couldn't do the buttons very well, she went to zippers, and that was a little easier. But she always had a scarf with her jacket and her burgundy hat, and everybody knew her around town. And they always commented on her beautiful burgundy hat. She was a lady. She dressed like a lady. She was always punctual and wearing the right sort of clothes. And she loved, if you're getting tired of standing, would you like to sit for a minute?
No,
I might be a little bit longer. Okay. There's a chair right there.
Okay, thank you.
I just was realizing that so many things about Ellie. She loved to travel, and her age didn't seem to want to stop her. She just needed help. And so would I come and help her? And we went up island, and they gave us a suite in the motel called the Honeymoon Suite. It was a corner place, and she just thought that was perfect. But she said, we need a bride and groom. It's a honeymoon suite. So she pulled out of her suitcase a colorful muumuu she brought from Hawaii. Well, she went there with her other good friend, Heidi. And I didn't know what she was doing. She put on this muumuu and plucked a bouquet of fake flowers from the vase in the room and sat in the middle of the bed, and then she crossed her legs and held this bouquet like it was in her arm, like a bride's bouquet, and said, now take my picture. I said, what are you? I'm the bride. She was enjoying this. It was all pink. The walls were pink. The bedspread was pink. She loved pink. And there was a glass top table. It was just so perfect. But she was so funny. She loved fun. And so that's what we did. It was by the beach, and she loved the ocean. She loved people and birthdays. And her birthday was celebrated by, if my friends know it's my birthday, then I'll know how many friends I have. And so we knew that when it was coming time for her birthday, we better show up. Just never mind. And we'd bring a cake or some cookies or something, but she always had a cake and cookies, and she loved lemon pound cake and chocolate and strawberry ice cream, and Gina showed up with the strawberry ice cream. And so the people that would arrive on her doorstep on her birthday were her friends. And Ellie loved to dance, and she loved fun times. And at La Rosa, they had pub night every so often, which meant come down in the evening after supper and enjoy listening to 40s and 50s music and order yourself a beer or a wine and just enjoy yourself dancing. Well, it was like, how many women to 3 men that would come? And these guys thankfully danced. And this one in particular danced with Ellie. Well, she wasn't going to dance because her knees were very sore that day. But she did. She got up and danced. And I said, how are your knees? Oh, they're fine. She should have danced the rest of her life away because she was just fine dancing. I guess maybe the music helped to take the pain away. I don't know. But she just loved it, and we just loved the pub nights. And this one time, Helen said, we're going to sing. They want us to sing or tell stories or jokes on pub night. So I said we'd do something. So Helen volunteered us to sing. So Ellie and I and Helen got up there, and we sang. Well, what song shall we sing? We sang the song that Helen and Ellie sang every night before they go to bed. They'd stand outside their little apartments, and it was right there in the big hallway, and they'd sing together this little lullaby and good night. Well, when we sang this on pub night, it was just so funny because it was only about 8 o'clock in the evening, and they just took it as the end, and they all kind of left after that. And it was funny anyhow to sing lullaby and good night at pub night. It was just fun to be with Ellie. I will miss her. And the times we played Scrabble, and the times we talked about the Lord, and the times we sang together. She loved to sing. I wrote down all her little German verses that she told me. And one of them was the song that they sang together, so that Ellie and I would sing it. And you know, on her birthday when Rhea and I had tea with Ellie, she sang with me. I said, come on, Ellie, let's sing. And then it was after that, she just, I guess she said, oh, this is enough. 94 years is plenty. And that was it. That was Sunday. And then she started Monday and Tuesday, and she just didn't want to eat or drink anymore. And here we are. But she is in a far better place. And we will be with her. And she will meet us at the gate when we arrive to show us where to go. And she's dancing. She's having fun. We're going to be with her again when we are with Jesus. Helen,
Yeah,
it's your turn. I'll sit now.
You want to sing that
You
song?
want to sing now? Do you want to speak first?
Oh, I can speak first.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, well, I met Ellie too at New Life Community Baptist Church, and she loves singing. Yeah, that's what you said already, so I just agree with you. And 1976, they phoned me, I got married and I had time, so they phoned me from the extended care hospital to come and sing there. So I started it, and then one day I came and there was a lady playing the piano, so I asked her would she play for me too, because I play the guitar and sing, but that's more exciting with the piano too. So they said yes, so I did, and then another lady came and she played the organ, so they had the organ and piano. So I needed more help with singing. So I wrote in the church bulletin, I asked for help for singing. And then there came Ellie and Heidi and Bill Austin, yeah, and another lady. So we had a quartet going. So first we started half an hour, then they asked for 3/4 of an hour, then they asked for an hour. So we were singing there. So we had, she loved to sing, but she sang soprano and I sang soprano. And then, well, that went on, yeah, and Heidi, she was reading a little story, and Will, he sang bass, and Heidi sang tenor, and we had a lady singing alto, and Ellie and Irie sang soprano. So we've been pretty good. And then as time went on, of course, then I had to move to La Rosa, and I don't know, then Ellie came, she lived next to me. That was very, I appreciated her very much. She was a dear friend. She read to me because I'm almost blind, I can't read and see. So she read to me the Bible and the daily bread always, and we prayed. And always when there was something special going on downstairs, she was always knocking at my door early enough to be on time. She always was sort of helping me. And yeah, and then when you came and when we had those parties, we sang, what did we say? Guten Abend, gute Nacht.
Right.
Okay, let's
And
sing it.
Ellie sat at your dinner table too.
Yeah.
She was your
Oh, yeah, she
partner at the table.
Yeah, she was a very dear friend to me. Yeah.
I need the words. You don't. And do you want to sing the second verse as well?
Yeah, make this as well.
Okay.
Guten Abend, gute Nacht, mit Rosen bedacht, mit Lieglein besteht, schlüpf unter die Dät. Morgen früh, wenn Gott will, wirst du wieder gewählt.
non sei così, schau in Traums Paradies. That's it. Yeah.
Thank you, that was beautiful. Really enjoyed that. Well, for myself, I would like to share just how we found Grandma. I didn't grow up knowing my grandma. I had no idea I had one. Unfortunately, my mom and dad were separated, I guess when I was 5 years of age. So, in my late 20s, I decided with my brothers and sister that, you know, we decided let's go try to find her. Let's try to find Mom. Right? And so we used a service to track down the name, but nothing came up. And eventually, somebody suggested, well, have you tried looking in the phone book? That idea never occurred to me at all. So I looked up I just managed to find in the Crofton pages, an E. Cardamalakis. And I thought, that's got to be Elena. It's got to be. So I dialed the number and I asked for Elena. And I was disappointed to hear the old lady on the line was Ellie. It's not her. Darn, I didn't think I'd be able to find her in this big Vancouver phone book. Anyway, as we spoke, I explained about my search, and Ellie told me that she could be my grandma. And it was like fireworks going off in my brain. I was like, what? I have a grandma? So together we concluded that she indeed was my grandma, and that was amazing. I was in fact her long-lost grandson, calling her right out of the blue. And it was exciting for both of us. We were both excited to have this huge missing puzzle piece just fall into place in my life. Conversation continued, and she asked me about my sister and my brothers, and she mentioned that she had been praying for all of us all these long years. Of course, that just piqued my interest. I gave my life to Jesus when I was 19 years of age. And so, well, let's just travel down this road a little bit, shall we? And so, it didn't take long to realize she indeed was a born-again believer, loved the Lord, been faithfully praying for her grandchildren for all those years, and I just couldn't believe this. This incredible feeling of marvel just came over me, like, God, you're amazing. This is incredible. Just to know that my godly grandma was watching over us in prayer for 29 years, or however many years it was, I don't know. Yeah, about 29 years. And also to know that God was looking after our family too, because we've been all over, you know. And here we came to come together and meet each other again. So it became quickly clear that Grandma was a woman who loved Jesus and has trusted him throughout her life. Well, that was the year 2000, and we had the greatest family reunion that I could ever imagine. And this also, by the way, was just the right moment where she was writing her book. She come to a pause, and it was at the place where she didn't know what happened to her grandchildren. So she wasn't sure how to finish the book. So that's the spot she left off, was what happened to her grandchildren, and I tell you, her book now has a happy ending. And she's got a whole, the book is called Counting My Blessings. It's up here somewhere. And I read it, it was really neat reading it, getting to know more about my early childhood that I was not aware of, with my dad and my mom. And it was really fascinating learning about my grandmother, how she was raised and what she went through the war and how she traveled, came to Canada. Fascinating. And so anyway, now she has a whole lot more blessings to count added to her life. You know. She did enjoy her final 13 years of her life surrounded by wonderful, close friends, reunited with her daughter, her 4 grandchildren, and 7 great-grandchildren. So before we sing our final song, I'd like to acknowledge that Grandma is no longer with us, but we can take great comfort knowing that she's in the safekeeping of our great God, and we shall see her again. Jesus says that my sheep know me, and they hear my voice. I give unto my sheep eternal life, and they shall never perish. So at this moment, Grandma is in paradise enjoying eternal blessings. And I dare say she has finally lost count. So if we could sing our final song because of you.